So you want to have two devices, two hosts on one IP address for your ScPrime setup? Let me show you. It's really easy to do that. Hello everyone, my name is Andrew, and today I'm gonna show you how to set up two devices, two hosts or two computers on one IP address, let's say at your home place or some other place where you can't change the IP address and you want to have more than one device on your ScPrime setup. Why do you need that, you might ask? Well, there might be a couple of reasons. Reason number one, your device machine is not capable to maintain more hard disks. At this time, maybe that's not that important because you have to share just like 5-6 terabytes of the space to get the incentives and wait until you'll get more data, until everything will roll out. So that might not be the case at that time. Another case might be that you want to have two different setups, for example, on Windows machine and on Linux machine. And you, for example, want to check how it performs, how one or another machine performs, and so on. That's really feasible as well. Another thing, there might be like more than one people on one IP address. Let's say you have some kind of shared internet or something like that, and you want to have a ScPrime setup, and let's say another person who's using the same internet, the same hotspot, wants to have the setup as well. In that case, you might need to make such setup as well. Of course, there is a bandwidth for the internet, for the data to get uploaded and downloaded, so make sure the internet speed is fast, otherwise it might be really bad. Okay, so first thing what you have to do for such setup, you have to set up additional ports in your port forward. So I'm using D-Link router. Let me show you how it looks on my D-Link setup. On your router, most likely interface will look different, but at least I will show you the main points and you should be able to set up that on your device as well. So here is my D-Link router home screen. Let's go to the firewall, virtual servers. Your router, your interface might look totally different and the names might look different as well. But the main thing what you have to do, you have to set up different ports for this setup. So here I have ScPrime, this is my main setup. It's like my IP address. This IP address is device IP address, and these are the ports that are opened. In this case, this is another device that I have set up for this video on my old laptop, and the IP is different, and of course ports has to be different as well. Let's go inside. IP address, ports starts 82, 83 and 85. You don't need 84. I used the same as the original ports, just change the number from 2 to 3. And basically that's all. Great. Once your ports are forwarded, that's quite easy. As you saw, it's just another line, and 2-3 different ports and so on. So it's really easy. Just add ports and, well, check if they are working. Here we have my external IP address. We have the port 4382. Let's press check, and we can see that the port is open. And this is what you want. If everything is set up correctly, you should get such message that port is opened. If not, then the router is not configured correctly and you might need to restart it or do some other changes, or maybe save if you just made the changes. Once done, procedure is the same as for the normal setup. You have to go to download the files, run the files, and do the configuration as I have created in another video, which will be in the link in the description. So basically all the steps are the same for the further setup. Just when setuping, you need to set up a different ports on your SPD, well, the first initial launch. On that first black command prompt window where you type run, you have to type that you would use a different ports. So let me show you how to write it down. Oh, and if you would like to use the same wallet as your initial or first setup, you have to set ScPrime wallet password in here first and then type the other configuration settings. But if you don't want to have the same wallet or you want to have a new wallet, then you should skip this line, this first one, and then go straight for this setup. So we are starting spd.exe, then directory where everything will be placed. So in this case it's different folder, that's why I'm using it. And then we have to type the information about the ports, which ports should be used. So host address for 382, host API address for 385, and another address which actually I'm not sure what it exactly means. And basically that's all. I will leave that information in the description so you can see and change it by yourself just by copy paste. That would be easier. Of course you have to choose a different name than the first setup on the network, because obviously it has, and it will be actually different because you'll be using different ports. So even if you use IP address, for example, so it will be different. So yeah, but just to let you know that the name has to be different as well, so that system could identify that this is a different network. And this is how easily you can have two devices on one IP address or one network. Why, in my case, why I decided to do that on my network? Because we're still paying the incentives and not much for the data itself. As I have an additional laptop laying on my desk, doing nothing basically, I decided to set up and leave it to get some extra coins. Well, why not? Because why not? If we are paying, why not to take some coins and earn? It's not much. You can check the other video in the description. I talked about how much of incentives it's possible to get with ScPrimes. It's not much, but still, if a laptop is lying around, why not? Of course, you have to have at least some kind of hard disk, because if you want to get the incentives, you have to, I think, have more than 2, 3, maybe or 4 terabytes of space, something like that, because 5 gigabytes most likely, as I remember, is not enough to receive the incentive. So you will need some additional space as well, but maybe you can move some hard disk, connect to the laptop or the machine you have laying on your, I don't know, in your place, doing nothing, and maybe you can earn some money by doing that as well. So this is it, what I wanted to say you today. Thank you for watching. Leave your thoughts, what machine you are using. Is it like Linux, is it Windows, or you have 1 or 2 setups? What is the situation on your side, and what do you think about this ScPrime project? Are you bullish or are you more bearish now when the market starts to go red? I would say it's really bloody red. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Cheers!